What's up, you guys? Chase the Dark Sage here. Today we are back with another video, and in today's video it'll be a little bit different from usual. Now, you guys know that I do a lot of manga reviews on the channel itself, but this is the first time that I'm actually finishing and revisiting a series from my So I Tried series. And if you don't know what that is, my So I Tried series is basically I read a volume or two of a certain manga series and I give you guys my first impressions on it and whether I'm going to be continuing it or not based off of my first impressions. And today's video obviously will be over Pluto. Now, I've definitely given Pluto its praises in that So I Tried video, and honestly that trend from that video is gonna kind of follow over here because I love Pluto. Pluto was so good. This manga right here, it's in my top 10 of manga of all time. Nani? Yes, 8 volumes, 65 chapters long, by Naoki Urasawa with Tezuko's IP. I don't know how he did it. I don't know what he did, but he put his foot in whatever he was cooking because it's good. Oh, this is really good. And I was looking for a series that was sci-fi and had a mystery aspect and it was a bit of a thriller, and honestly I got all of that from Pluto and I didn't expect to get all of that. So I gotta say shout out to my boy Matt for putting me onto this, and he told me after I read this we gotta read Monster. And if Naoki Urasawa if he's doing what he did with this in Monster, oh Urasawa. But like I said, we will be doing a full review of Pluto. I'm not going to take up too much of you guys' time because I don't want to reiterate some of my points I had in my So I Tried video, so make sure you go check that video out before you check out this video right here. So pause this video, open another tab, watch that video, then you come back to this one to see how I feel full circle on this series. It's kind of like I made a 360, but I didn't switch up. You get what I'm saying? 360 switch. Should have had some type of Sony reference in that as well, but you guys get the point. But before we actually get into this video, before I talk about the plot, the characters, the setting, the writing in this bad boy, make sure you're subscribed and you like the video. That way you can help support this video within the YouTube algorithm. And there will be no spoilers in this video because I went into this blind. I went into this as blind as you can go, and honestly I was thoroughly surprised, and I want you guys to be thoroughly surprised when you read this series as well, especially with the anime coming out soon on Netflix. I definitely don't want to spoil you guys. I want you guys to get a good concept of what this series actually is and what it will bring, but I don't want to bring no major plot details or major plot elements into here and kind of spoil the fun for you. So this will be no spoilers in this review right here, but there are obviously some character reveals that come with this actual series itself. So like I said before, like the video if you haven't already to help support your boy, and subscribe to the channel if you like manga reviews and manga content, manga collecting content itself. And make sure to follow me on all my other social media platforms. All my links will be in the description down below. So let's go ahead and start off with talking with the plot of Pluto. In a world where robots and humans coexist, the 8 most advanced robots are targeted to be killed and destroyed. These robots have helped keep the peace, advanced technology, and have made robots interwoven in society more seamless than before. Among this journey, we are met with a myriad of characters, both human and robotic, with one of the most 8 advanced robots being our main character, Gesicht, a detective robot on the case trying to figure out who or what is out to destroy him and his robot companions. There's honestly so much to say about this plot, but I don't want to spoil you guys on it. Pluto really captured me from volume 1, and to see the plot actually thicken from that one volume to where it's at now, Pluto really wowed me. Again, check out my So I Tried video on this series because the praises I was singing in that video, oh well, that trend is coming over to this video as well. These robots that are being hunted down don't just represent the countries they were made from, but also have all fought in a war together. Along the journey, we see that these robots, while still being AI, have formed some sort of human tendencies and have grown accustomed to the world that they live in. These robots have become human-like in nature and live amongst society along with humans while somewhat imitating them, like having families, kids, a job, etc. The real question is, who is the person or thing coming along to stop this peace and disrupt the world as we know it? And that's about it for what I want to tell you guys about the plot for Pluto. And there is an anime series coming out soon on Netflix, and honestly I might break my no watching anime rule for this series right here. I know, shocking, right? The plot in this series was amazing with so many threads going on, and with most of them, if not all of them, concluded by the end of the series. I have no complaints about the story in Pluto at all. In fact, I was thoroughly satisfied. I was eating pretty good on this. The artwork overall was good and pretty consistent. The world that Urasawa built literally looks amazing. From building design to the hover cars, action scenes, and indoor technology, Urasawa came with his pots, pans, spatula, and apron because, ooh-wee, that boy was cooking. I didn't have much expectation going into this manga because this is my first Urasawa manga. But with the reimagining of an already pre-existing world from Astro Boy, I can say I really appreciate what Urasawa did with this. It's like this man just wanted to pay respect and homage to the father of manga, Tezuka. His take on the world and character designs was something I was really digging, especially when going for a more mature look for a pre-established series/franchise. The paneling is also done well with a seamless flow from panel to panel and no page ever felt cluttered. There was a lack of double page spreads, but honestly, when you get them, you really appreciate them. And that's all I have to say about this section because, well, I really don't have any gripes or complaints or nitpicks about the artwork. Now, I've already talked about the characters in my first impressions video, but whew, does Urasawa expand on these characters. Now, while there were some characters we didn't get any more character moments from in the first volume, we are introduced to a plethora of newer characters that are recurring and have very important roles pertaining to the story. One character I didn't touch on in that video was Astro Boy. I don't know why, I didn't think Urasawa was going to bring him into the manga as a prominent character and as one of the 8 advanced robots. But it does create an interesting dynamic between how his AI robot companions feel about him, how the world feels about him, and his role he played within the war. 7 of the 8 most advanced robots were forced to participate within one of the biggest wars, which left a lot of them with human traits like trauma, PTSD, and strong emotions such as hate. Giving robots these emotions was a very interesting concept, seeing as though, as a human, we don't expect for robots to have emotions like these. Making robots having to deal with the trauma from that war was such a very well thought out concept. And this thoroughly took me by surprise, especially with their place in society and how people treat them. Some people in society see them as just robots, some see them as heroes, and there are those that hate robots to the core. There is literally a KKK for robots in this manga. Think about that. I never expected to see that, but to have some of these characters closely interact with some of the robots in an already busy story was just done brilliantly. There's a character type in here for everyone to love, and the motives for each character's decisions are fleshed out and make complete sense. If I haven't said it before, Urasawa is a genius. I can't put into words how some of these characters in the story I really hated, but I couldn't hate them too much because I get their justification for some of their actions. Dare I say, some of these robots came off as or even more human than some of the humans in this manga. Out of the characters that were introduced, and I know I'm gonna sound real basic for saying this, Adam, aka Astro Boy, and Gesicht are my favorite characters. The relationship these two share with their stories within the series is something I really fell for and loved every second of in the manga. The setting is also captured greatly from the interior of some of these buildings, the crime scenes where Gesicht goes to, the city space, which I wish we got to see more of, but I'm pretty sure the anime will do this part justice. And the lab shown every now and then. To be real with y'all, the futuristic setting with humans living among robots is what really brought me into this manga at first. And I gotta say, I got more than what I bargained for. Now, the writing is obviously one of the best parts, if not the best part, about this manga. Urasawa makes you feel so immersed into the world he has built by making you see how society lives from a realistic perspective that is really relatable. Never did I feel that I was going to be next door neighbors to a robot, but in this series I did. I actually cared about these characters and the circumstances they were put in. Some of these robots have families, some have loved ones or diehard followers that actually cared about them. While I wish some characters were explored a bit more, the character growth and development we do get with these characters that were focused on was phenomenal. The actions and emotions that some of these robots did and felt were very human-like and was very justifiable just for that reason. The manga tries to paint this world with a society that hasn't really accepted robots as living and evolving creatures like them, but from our perspective, we forget at times that they're robots and have to be reminded every so often. I was really taken aback by how some of these robots felt so human, and they were more than just a creation from a lab. They experienced loss, grief, sadness, and anger just like the humans of this world, and to see the small progressions some had taken was wonderful. Now I gotta talk about how some of the theming and atmosphere in this manga were tackled because I really enjoyed it. There are many themes to pull from, with the cast of characters and multiple plot lines going on during the story. While it is short, the manga does a lot with what he's given, and each concept/idea felt explored and fully fleshed out. With such a mystery going on, it helps add to the psychological aspect of what these robots and people are thinking. From the interpersonal dynamics between robots to humans, robots to robots, or humans to humans, it was all done well and went further than what I was expecting. The mystery aspect is another factor that really grabbed me when wanting to read this manga. I couldn't stop flipping the pages to see what the next clue we were gonna get was, or to see the next person that was gonna die by the robot killer's hands. Little things like certain dialogue between the characters and some of their banter about their past made you want to put the pieces of the puzzle together on your own, especially when you provided the next clue or some juicy information. I won't spoil any of that stuff because I think it's best to go in blind and unravel these mysteries while you travel with these characters. Overall, the plot was great, the writing was impressive, the relationships between these characters was phenomenal, and I wish I could have stayed with some of these characters a bit longer. Because this manga is more of a serious and sorrowful read with us seeing our characters lose a piece of themselves while also losing their robot brethren. I don't know what to say besides the fact that it kind of hits after a while. Pluto is a manga that you do not get often. I can't explain how much I love this manga, from the characters, the mystery thriller aspect, to the actual plot presented to us. Pluto is the manga I've been searching for, but I really struck some gold on this one. If this is any indication of what Urasawa could do with someone else's IP, I can't imagine how crazy Monster will be once I get into that series. Pluto is one of those series that has a little bit of something for everybody. Gesicht and his journey throughout the case of the robot killer is one I will never forget and would love to experience through the anime format once it comes out. That's right, I'm breaking my no-watch anime rule for this series. Seeing these characters on these pages feel lifelike while not being a human was so surprising but really refreshing to see. Some of the robots in this series are more relatable than some of the human characters I read about in other series I've been reading. Pluto was a fun ride that I wouldn't mind going through again soon. With the series only coming out to about 65 chapters and with all it manages to do within those, man. And because of this, I have to give Pluto a 9 out of 10. But on a good day, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Back in it, baby, just staying in town. I'm on the edge, I ain't coming down. I get too high, I'm afraid of the ground. I'm young and I'm paid to play with these sounds. Ignoring the call, she shutting that down. Started at the top and I'm taking it down off the champagne. Took a break from the brown on a rampage. I've been giving it round. Shawty been solid some time now. I'm my life for the wine, dine, and I'm with it. Look where we started and look where we at. I can see where we headed, but I can't see me finish. 3 years ago, I was down on my last. Was stuck at the crib, I couldn't get out of my bed. Then I realized it's all in my head, and I can't go back to the past, yeah. Except now I'm moving, put all in the music from all